I'm a student of English Language Education, Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha, Bali, Indonesia. So in this great occasion, I would like to present my research study entitled The Effectiveness of Reciprocal Questioning Strategy in Cooperative Learning Setting Toward EFL Learners' Reading Comprehension. Well, this presentation will be delivered in 4 parts. The first one is the introduction, the second one is methods, the third one is findings and discussion, and the fourth one is a conclusion. Yeah. As we all know, reading comprehension is the act of understanding written text based on a complex process in which it depends on readers' experience and knowledge about the language, sentence structure, repetition of reading text, difficulty, and length of the reading. It is very important for learners, not only for language learners, but also for learners in general, as it helps the learners in getting information in written form, completing their homework, study for their career, reading for their pleasure, and taking tests. In addition, reading comprehension is also, useful in providing good models for writing, and it provides opportunity to study language, vocabulary, grammar, punctuation, the way to construct sentence, paragraph, and also text. It is obvious that reading comprehension is very important for the learners, not only for their study, but also for their career. However, based on the result of PISA 2015 and also PISA 2018, our students here in Indonesia have a low reading comprehension. It can be seen from the rank from those 2 years. Moreover, what I saw in my society in Bali, my students had low level of reading comprehension as their reading comprehension score lower than the other skills. And also, every time they get reading comprehension or reading activity, they were not enthusiastic in following that activity, and they said it is boring. As the teacher can help students to improve their reading comprehension skill through various reading activities or reading strategy. One of the strategy is reciprocal questioning strategy. It is a strategy that helps students' ability to ask and answer questions to deepen their comprehension and critical thinking. So this strategy not only helps students in developing their comprehension, but also critical thinking. As we know, critical thinking is very important in this 21st century learning. So this strategy can help the students to develop those skills. As stated by Hales in 2009, this strategy can help students to learn how to create effective questions, develop students' own questions about the text, and it can develop independent comprehension techniques. So basically, in this strategy, the teacher asks the students one by one about the text, and then after that, the students ask the teacher about the text. So it will be a student asking question, and then the teacher also asking question to the students. It consume relatively long time, and it is hard to do in a quite big class as it consume much time. Therefore, this study attempts to modify reciprocal questioning strategy in which this strategy is conducted in cooperative learning setting, in which the students are grouped in some small groups, and then they work in that group together to ask and answer questions. Therefore, this study attempts to attempts to investigate if there is any significant difference in reading comprehension between EFL learners who are taught using reciprocal questioning strategy in cooperative learning setting and those who are taught using conventional method. What is meant by conventional method here is the common technique used by teachers in their daily teaching. It has characteristic that it is teacher-oriented. The teacher assign individual tasks to the students, and it is book oriented and focus on the result, not on the process. This study is a quasi-experimental research with post-only control group design. The population of this study is the 11th grade students in SMA Jembatan Budaya, Bali. And there were the samples of this study were two classes of 11th grade. They are MIPA 2 and MIPA 1, which were selected through random sampling. And after getting the samples, those two groups were assigned as the control group and experimental group using lottery. It was MIPA 4 was assigned as the control group and MIPA 2 was assigned as the experimental group. Further, the control group was created using conventional reading method, and the experimental group was created using reciprocal questioning in cooperative learning setting. And then the post-test was conducted in the end of the treatment. Therefore, the null hypothesis of this study is there is no significant difference between students who were taught using reciprocal questioning strategy in cooperative learning setting and those who are taught in conventional reading method. Findings. Okay, here is the result of this study. So the data were collected using reading comprehension tests, and then the gathered data were analyzed using descriptive statistical analysis and inferential statistical analysis. The result of descriptive statistical analysis showed that the mean score of experimental group is higher than the mean score of the control group. Here is the result of inferential statistical analysis. It was found that the significant value of the t-test was below 0.05. That means that the null hypothesis of this study was rejected, and it indicates that there is a significant difference between the students who are taught using reciprocal questioning strategy in cooperative learning setting and those who are taught using conventional method.
Okay, 2 minutes more.
Oh, 2 minutes, okay. Thank you. Well, during the treatment, it was found that students' reading comprehension was developed, and then it is in line with what Macy and Hefner found that this strategy, reciprocal questioning strategy, can help students to develop their comprehension. It was also found that students are motivated to read and they could raise their own question. Moreover, students could make effective questions and they were very serious in reading. Another finding is the students, when they read the text, they often check their dictionary and discuss with the other students. It is in line with what Kilan said about cooperative learning, that cooperative learning teach students to be less reliant on teacher, and it can make them to be more independent learners. And also it was found that students show respect in which they listen and they answer their friends' questions, and then they can share opinion, compare answer, and make decision. And also it was found in experimental class that the students in experimental class was more relaxed and show high enthusiasm when they are reading. The result of this study was also supported by the findings from the previous research. They are from Yuniarti, Ardemelia, Novita, Kristiawan, and Hadian. And it found that reciprocal questioning was effective in students' reading comprehension. It can develop students' motivation, and it can also develop students' critical thinking. And from cooperative learning side, cooperative learning can improve students' achievement and satisfaction, as well as students' motivation. And yeah, well, the
Sorry, time is
conclusion.
up. Yeah,
Okay,
okay. You can make a closing statement.
okay. Can I conclude this?
Yeah.
Okay, so in conclusion, reciprocal questioning strategy in cooperative learning setting was effective in improving students' reading comprehension. It implies that English teachers can use this strategy in developing or in helping students in improving their reading comprehension. Well, that's all from me. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ibu Putu Indah. Next,
Thank
for
you,
the
Ibu.
second speakers, we have Bapak Afif Fahrudin and Bapak Eka Nur Hidayat. Di-unmute dulu, Pak.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. So let me explain the research or mini research that conducted before pandemic era. Yeah.
Yeah.
So should I share screen?
Yes, if you have the PowerPoint slides, then you can the screen share.
Okay, thank you. I will try to share screen. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. Sudah belum muncul ya?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Mana ini? Belum muncul ya kayaknya ya?
Sudah, Bapak.
Sudah muncul.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, this is my article or mini research. Yeah, the title is Implementing Quizzes as Game-Based Learning in Teaching Grammar in Written Discourse. So, the background why I conducted the research because of the situation of my classroom when students learned about grammar, they felt it looks like that the student feel bored. And when I gave an exercises related to grammar in written discourse, like okay, the student feel that the exercises and also the system of, or not the system, but the situation of the classroom is not like it's like was like make them feel so bored and not interesting at all. Meanwhile, grammar is quite important in our learning, right? Especially in English learning. If they are able to use grammar in the right way, I'm sure that they will able to use another skills like speaking, listening, or writing and also reading. Yeah, four skills are important in English. That's why the key the key of improving their English, they should be understand how to use grammar in proper way or in the right way. Okay, learning is the primary activity of students in the classroom. Not all finding a good method, finding a good learning something is quite challenging. Yeah, yeah. That's why I try to select the methodology, and I also select what kind of application to invite and to make them interest in learning grammar in written discourse. And one of the methodology, or not methodology, the application I use is uh, quizzes, quizzes. Yeah. So I'm sure that all of you have already know the type of quizzes itself. So in the process of teaching learning in the process of teaching learning, I ask students to bring their own laptop or notebook. Yeah, and also after I applicate them, yeah, around 2 weeks or 3 weeks, yeah, the situation of teaching learning process was improved. Yeah, And then after, based on the background, the research question the research question I create in this article, or my mini research, is what is the effect of implementing quizzes in teaching grammar in written discourse? Yeah, related to these titles, this research, yeah, belongs to an experiment. Yeah, so an experiment, I use one group pre-test post-test design because of the situation of the classroom was not large. Yeah, only 22 students include the lecture itself. Yeah, so I use one group pre-test and post-test design. The technique of data collection, I use tests and also an observation, yeah, an observation sheet to control the situation, the class, and taking notes, what happened in the classroom. I mean, to uh, taking note the situation of the research. Yeah. Okay. In the next session, yeah, yeah, in the findings and discussion, yeah, in the research activity, before giving the test or before giving the treatment, I try to give a pre-test first. Yeah, I wanted to see that
Koneksinya sepertinya ada gangguan, Jeh. Oh, oh, Jeh. Bapak, Pak Afif?
sizes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
After that, after I took the student's result, I give a treatment. Yeah, I giving a treatment through quizzes and application. In the quizzes application, yeah, in the quizzes, I use a kind of technology like a laptop. In the system of quizzes, uh, I I show the multiple choice form of the grammar, and also the material. Before giving the exercises, I also give them the material, yeah, through the system of the quizzes. Yeah, and also after conducted research through this application, it can be seen that there were enhancing. I mean, there were improving students' learning result. Yeah, it can be seen from the table here, from the mean score. Yeah, the difference between pre-test and post-test result, and also the score. Yeah, before treatment and after treatment. Yeah, before treatment, uh, the students' average score is around 42 in the pre-test, and then in the post-test, yeah, in the post-test, the score is around 49. After giving treatment, yeah, there were improvement, yeah, from the score. It can be seen from the score. In the maximum score pre-test, 77, yeah, and then post-test 86. Yeah, yeah, 86. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Before giving treatment, the maximum score is 77, and after giving treatment, the maximum score is around 86. So, there are differences result before giving treatment and after giving treatment through quizzes and quizzes. Yeah, mobile game learning.
Sorry,
Yeah.
2 minutes left.
So it can be concluded that an interactive teaching learning processes could make them interest in learning grammar in written discourse. Yeah. So yeah. Wait a moment. Yeah. Yeah. The table showed that the result of the session, overall the result show that students perceive that quizzes enhance their learning. Yeah. In the next one, yeah, yeah. So this is the result, the finding and the result. Based on the explanation above, it can be concluded that quizzes make students interactive, keep them focused, and then they particularly like the leaderboard feature, which make them competitive and motivate them to perform better. So this is the conclusion, that after giving treatment through quizzes, they can focus in learning grammar, yeah, and also focus on the use of quizzes itself, using the system of quizzes itself, and also focus on the material itself. Thank you so much, Bu Girindra.
Thank you very much, Pak Afif. Sangat
Yeah,
on time ya.
yeah,
Oke, terima kasih. Thank you very much, Pak Afif.
yeah.
Okay,
Thank
next
you.
the third speaker, Ibu Yuli Puji and Ibu Surti Milarisa.
Okay. Let me share screen.
Oh, yes, please.
Share screen. Yes. Okay. Yes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, firstly, I would like to thanks to the moderator who has given me an opportunity to deliver our research under the title of Developing Supplementary Extensive Reading Materials Based on Braille Folklore using Flipbook Media. Before I start my presentation, I need to state our words. Never be afraid to step your small feet, even we have to enter the darkest forest. Okay, the introduction of our research. Reading is fundamental of learning a language, and then according to Milarisa 2019, reading is one of the 4 main important skills. Reading will help students get easy in interpreting a language, and then Greb also stated that citizens of modern societies must be good readers to be successful. And in this research, we use Flipbook Maker for presenting our product. Flipbook Maker is a software that has a function to open each page like a book. Microsoft Flipbook allows users to convert Word, Excel, PPT, PDF to Flash Flipbook with compelling page-turning effects, according to Haryanti and Saputra, 2006. Astuti, 2017 also explains that Flipbook has many advantages and can be used as an alternative technology-based information delivery media. This tool allows users to present information in an attractive way, which can be displayed on a large canvas. For background of the study, because of the unavailability material of extensive reading in Braille Regency, it is also very difficult to find such reference, and because of there is no Gramedia bookstore here, and the supplementary material developed needed to be easy to comprehend. And the next, the supplementary material developed should meet the students' need and support the local wisdom. And the next reason, the supplementary material of reading is expected to be able to help the learners to enhance independent English language learning. And those one, the supplementary extensive reading suitable to students is expected to be a good guide to learn specific subject. And then the objective of the study to develop the materials of extensive reading based on Braille folklore as the local wisdom. And for the research methodology, there are several steps. Number 1, analysis, and then design, and then implementation, development, and evaluation. I'm not going to explain about this further. Limitation. Yes, because of the limitation of the time. And then for the participants, there were 2 kinds of subjects and the tasks used in this study. There were the subjects involved in the needs analysis process and a subject in the development of the material. And then there were 2 types of the data which were used in the study. They were the data gathered during the research analysis, need assessment, and proof of the concept, and then the data given in the main field test. For the data collection procedures, data from needs analysis, we gathered from the questionnaires to investigate about students' interest and expectation during the teaching of extensive reading. The questionnaires for students cover 30 questions related to teaching reading. And then data for main field task. We also gathered from the student checklist about the appropriateness of the developed material with their needs. And then the checklists were distributed after the limited tryout. And then the research finding will be explained by my colleague, Mrs. Surtimila Riza. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you very much for Ibu Yuli Vijayasutik for the chance. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present about the findings of the study actually. So you can see that there are two kinds of the research finding here. The subject of the study were taken from second and fourth semester students of STI Muhammadiyah Tanjung, STIP Muhammadiyah Tanjung, and first semester.
Ibu? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you are reconnected. Okay.
Could you hear me?
Please continue. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I will continue about the result of the student.
Agak putus lagi ya Ibu ini internetnya. Mungkin koneksinya agak terganggu. Oh iya.
Oh my God.
Ya.
Oh, agak terganggu koneksi.
Tidak terkoneksi, Sir. Apa bisa? Bisa?
Ya, dilanjutkan Ibu Surti. Tapi PowerPoint-nya hilang.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, ya.
Apa bisa PowerPoint-nya?
Nah, oke. Sudah terlihat lagi.
So this is the result of the research actually, and you can see that from the percentage of the result, the students, most of them strongly agree actually about the statement of the questionnaire, and the rest is 25, around 25% is agree with the statement of the questionnaire. And then the significances of the study here, there are 4. The material developed is expected to give some benefit to the followings. The students who want to expand their understanding about extensive reading, and for the students who want to learn about their local wisdom. And the lecturer who want to use the book as one of their supporting reference, and the researchers who want to conduct such research. And the last, the government of Bra who want to familiarize the local folklore inside and outside the Regency. And this is the conclusion. The purpose of this study was to develop supplementary materials of extensive reading based on Bra folklore by using thick book media. Therefore, the final research would be available in printing and electronic book. The electronic version of this can be accessed through the computer, device, or mobile phone. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we close, we will share actually about the product.
Right here.
Okay, could you see the product list? Yes, this is the product. Can you hear the songs of this product? The back song is from Dayak tribe, and this is originated from Borneo Island. And then this is the title of the product, supplementary extensive reading, and it will be published on UMM Press, University Muhammadiyah Malang Press, and then you can see, as you can see that for Bra folklore, one of them is this is originated that we made by handmade, actually painting ourselves. And yeah, that's all. I think
The exercise.
oh yeah, to actually to make the students more. We take some exercise And then for the difficulty phonetics
Pronunciation.
and then this is the exercise of the product and this is the chapter 2. Okay, yes, well okay, for more detail of the product, actually you can contact us and then we'll discuss together. And I think that's all for this presentation. We really hope your feedback actually, and I'm Suti Larissa and Ibu Yuli.
Okay, thank you Ibu. It was quite an interesting flip book made in an online versions. Bisa menggambar sendiri juga ya Ibu, you both are very talented. Okay, thank you for the next and the last speakers for these sessions, Bapak Muhammad Umar Fahrudin and Ibu Erna Andrianti.
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so you can start your presentation.
Is it visible, Miss? Sorry.
Yes, it is.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone. Thank you very much for Miss Kirendra for taking my chance to speak or to present my.
Sorry, mungkin suaranya bisa agak dikencengin lagi ya, agak.
Hello.
Nah, kurang jelas.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, better.
Okay, so here I am Muhammad Umar Fahrudin with Bu Erna Andrianti. Here we are going to present, or here I am the representative of Miss Erna, who would like to present how the English teachers' intensification in the bilingual program affect their teaching performance. And here, the introduction. So, based on Ian Selwood and Rachel Pilkington 2005, state that an overloaded teacher's duty has broken the recruitment and retention of the teachers. And Lingham et al. 2017 state that the growth of education system complexity in this era is becoming a greater pressure for accountability in all aspects of teachers' professional work. And here, the gap is that the teachers must involve themselves in different activities, either academic or non-academic activities, which are done outside of school hours. So what makes it different is actually because the teachers are the bilingual teachers. So the teachers, I'm sure that here, most of the teachers, those presenters here are the most of the presenters here are the teachers, and maybe you are the supervisor or of school or supervisor of organizations. But what makes this different is that the teachers here are the teachers of bilingual program, that they have to stay with the students for 24 hours, so that I see they have more workloads or intensifications. Okay, and then the literature here I write or I pin 3 points of the literature. The first one is the workload, and then multilingual program and teaching performance. For the workload itself, based on Wang et al. 2014, they said that the increasing works in both quantities, example work overload and multitasking, and quality, example changing work conditions and reduced economic, and significantly affect teachers' condition and well-being. As I said, just know that the teachers have to stay in the dorm, and they have to teach in the class, and they have to be both parents and teachers. And then the multilingual program itself here, the multilingual means the ability of someone to speak in 3 or more languages, in which different languages are used actively in daily communication within a multilingual society. And so they are not only to be trained to have a skill of getting, but also to have a skill of using. And then the teaching performance, here theory based on the McGregor 2007. There are 6 criteria to be fulfilled to have a good teaching performance. The first one is a clear objective of the lessons, and then building background knowledge, building background, and then a clear structural idea, and then using various strategies of questionings, and then providing an adequate time for the students to give response, and then employing instructional approaches. And the next one is the methods of this research. Here, the researchers employed a qualitative case study, and where is the place? The place is in MA Al Hikmatul Brebes. MA Al Hikmatul has several programs. There are immersions, and then bilingual, and then the regular that contains science and social. And then the researchers here took the bilingual program, the teachers of the bilingual program. And then how is it conducted? The researchers conducted observation and interview. The observations was conducted, so the researchers spent several days in the boarding school or in the dorm to know the reality, or to know the conditions of the teachers, and to know the conditions of the students, to know the activity of the students. And then the interview was conducted, with the teachers to know deeper information about their workload and their activities or their duties. And here, the findings and discussions, or maybe here is only the findings. So it's the finding of the interview. The first one is about teaching hours in a week. So there are 4 English teachers in that program, and there are 3 of 4 teachers have more than 40 hours to teach in a week. Why they have 40 hours to teach in a week? Because the program have a different, different allocation time from other program, that they want the students to have more engaged in English, so that the hours of English are added. And then the second one is studies in the school beside teaching. Those 4 teachers become English competition coaches, and then organization supervisors, and then committee school events. It is in the school, and then duties outside of the schools. Here, they become multilingual complex dormitory supervisors. So as I said before, that the teachers are staying in the dormitory, so they even their room are beside the students' room. So if the students do not understand what they learned in the class, then the students will come to the teacher's room to ask what they don't understand, or even when the students are getting difficulty in speaking or in finding the correct words to pronounce or to say, then they will ask the teachers directly in the room or in the complex. And then the relationship, I asked them about whether there was a relationship between workloads and teaching performance, and they said yes. Why? Because they have insufficient time to have self-reflection and to handle administrative stuffs. Why? Because most of the teachers will spend will spend the time with the student until at least 10 p.m. By joining the students' activity or having consultations or others. And then how to deal with the workloads, I asked them, then they say that they tried hard to manage the time well, to have like their own timeline. And here is the result of observation, because the researchers, we only spent several days, so we only saw several things over there. The first one is Tuesday and Friday night performance. Why I wrote this? Because in every Tuesday and Friday night performance, the teachers are invited by the students. The students there will have like a performance, English performance, like storytelling, debate, and then speech or other performances, and the teachers are invited to be the guide or to be the judge to give the feedback after the end of the performance. And based on the observation, the teachers will give in detail for the feedback like the chapter, the word choice, and others. And then the healthcare, in the complex or in the dormitory, there is a specific room to to place the students who are getting sick, and the teachers must know about the students' conditions. And the last one is the parents' customer service. So the teachers must be ready every time because the students are far away from their parents. So the teachers must be ready when their parents are asking about the student's condition. And sometimes the problem is that when the students are still new and sometimes they cried and so on and the teachers must calm them down and must make them to feel comfortable with the condition in dormitory.
Sorry, 1 minute left.
Okay, thank you. Here is the conclusion. Based on the finding and discussion above, it was clearly stated that having too much intensification affects negatively toward teachers' performance. Quality supported by a theory by McGregor 2007 about 6 criteria to have a quality of teaching. Thank you very much, Ms. Greenberg.
Thank you very much. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much. So all speakers had presented their papers. So now is question and answers. We have 15 minutes for the question and answers. So each presenters can deliver questions to each other, or the participants also are allowed to raise questions. Anyone want to raise questions? Bapak Ibu? If there are any questions, you can just unmute yourself and raise your questions, please. Or maybe I also have questions for Ibu Yuli and Ibu Surti for the very nice ebook that you have with the sound.
Yes.
Yeah, so I learned from the book that you share to us that there is a sound of your traditional song played where you are like reading the book. So will there be any other sound like the pronunciations, or is it also equipped with that kind of features instead of only like text sound of the book?
Yes, there is no sounds actually, the pronunciation of the vocabularies. We only have back sound for the beginning of the product.
And since you live in Brau ya, Ibu ya?
Yeah, is Kalimantan.
Is there any problem from the students where they are given this kind of book and then they have to like play and read that e-book all together at the same time? Is there any problem from the students, like let's say the network problem?
Yes, a lot of problem actually. For example, they couldn't find the resource of the Bravo flow itself. So that's why this is one of the motivation for us to create by ourselves to make the students know actually about the Bravo flow. Because
that's like a new app. Is that like a specific app?
Specific application?
Yeah, specific applications such. Sorry, what does it mean?
I mean, like, is it like an application's like specific one that they have to download, or?
You mean about the Flip media?
Book?
Yeah.
Yes, they only download actually. It's such a video, such a video maker, so they can download first, and then we actually want to publish and print it, the printed version actually. So not only for the ebook or electronic version, but also print version.
That's my next question actually. If it is printed, so we will lose the features of the sound?
Yes, automatically. Automatically.
So maybe if we have the 10th ELTLT next year, you can come up with your new modifications of the book. So when we try to like open the book and then there is the sound of it playing. This is like the children book that we always see at the online shopping when there is a features of sound. So when we open the book and then there will be the sound of a cow, the sounds of an elephant, like the one that the babies have.
Yes.
So we will be
Hopefully.
waiting for next year breakthrough for your flipped book. Thank you very much, Ibu Yuli and Ibu Surti. Is there
Thank you.
any more questions from the presenters and participants for our presenters in these first sessions?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, please, Ibu.
Thank you so much. My name is Miss Nada. Actually, I'm a teacher in SMP Dharma Bangsa, Bandar Lampung. Well, I want to ask the presenter of a quiz. Maybe Mr.
Yeah.
Alif, yeah.
Afif.
Afif, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. I actually applied the quizzes, yeah, especially in a daring for SMP grade 7 until 9.
Yes.
And then my question is, do you use like a timer, for example, to for them to answer in 3 minutes or 5 minutes? And then it's based on my experience, yeah. So yeah, in my school. So if I use quizzes, they think that it's like I want to be the first. So I have to finish it than the others. That's the first. And the second is, do you use something like game? There is something in the quizzes in which there is application that the students can change again the answer. Yeah, and then they can make double point. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you so
thank
much
you so
for
much.
thank you so much for the question. So for the first question, actually, there was a timer, right, in the quizzes itself. So I give 5 minutes because of the topic of the courses is related with grammar. Yeah, let them think the answers. Let them think the answers in 5 minutes. Yeah. So and also after they answer and then every student have already done with the answers, there will be a ranking from each students, right? So actually I didn't look from the rank. I didn't look from the students ranking. I mean from the ranking itself. But I wanted to see how far they understood about the material itself, and I wanted to see about the effectiveness of the quizzes itself. So if the student got lower score,
Ini agak gangguan network ini ya, Pak.
yeah, it means that
Kembali.
I focus on the students' ability in understanding material of the courses. So the quiz is only the tools that I use for teaching learning processes in the classroom. So actually, I conducted this research before pandemic era, so that's why I can control situation at the classroom. Yeah, I ask students to bring their own laptop or book in the classroom. While I conducted this research, I can look the processes. Yeah, how far this application give effect. Give. I mean like how far this application give in influence to their learning. Yeah, is it if so from the result of my research that this application help the students in understanding the material, and also give them to be more competitive in their learning. Thank you so much. That's my answer.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you Ibu Bernarda and Pak Afif. I myself also have tried quizzes once, and once I tried to use the essay and then it didn't really work. So I think it's very helpful with the multiple choices, really.
Yeah.
For reading classes and also for the reading comprehension classes and the grammar classes, it helps.
Yes, of course, for the grammar itself.
In this pandemic situations, then we can just share the code to the students, so we can just do one-time job for every classes. So I think that's really practical.
Yes. Thank you so much for the question.
Thank you very much, Pak Afif, and also Bu Bernarda. Okay, we still have for about 5 minutes. If you still have questions to each other.
Maybe I try to ask it to Bu Putu, yeah.
Okay, please.
Bu Putu, thank you for the presenting your article. I would like to ask you about the measure. How did you measure the instrument of your research? That's all. Thank you.
Okay, Bapak Alif, thank you for your question. So how did I measure my instrument? Well, my instrument was reading comprehension test. I developed that test based on the type of text that the student read in the activity, in which the text was personal letter and analytical exposition. So I choose because I know if I make a new question, I have to validate it to other class, and at that time I didn't have that much time, so I took some questions from their books, from LKS, and also from the buku paket, and then I developed it to be the instrument, because I think those questions already validated by the writer of the book. It's already validated, so I use those questions.
Oh, so it means that you used a content validity, right? Content validity. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bapak.
Thank you so much, all presenters and also the speakers, presenters and participants who have joined these first sessions in room 1. Before we finished and end the sessions and have a lunch break, maybe you can just turn on your camera so we can have a photo sessions, the virtual one, for everybody. We cannot see each other, yeah? Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
yeah.
Bu Gerindra.
Thank you everyone. So after this, you can have all your lunch,
so much.
And then we will be back at 1 for the plenary sessions. Thank you, Bapak Ibu. Thank you very much. Have a nice lunch at your home. Bye bye.